YouTube! I'm Unca Crunk, just your standard issue purple monster of a certain age who plays games on the internet. In the previous episode of Persona 2, we continued our delving into the memories of Tatsuya Sumaru by exploring the backrooms of Club Zodiac and tracking down the key we need to save Juvie officer Shiori Miyashiro from Joker, who she called to kill her own damn self in an attempt to arrest him. Ow. And we had to take this key away from none other than Shub Niggurath. So, you know, there's that as well. Anywho, let's go rescue this crazy ass cop. The entrance opened quietly, and a tall shadow entered the dim dance floor, backdropped by lighting. That's Tatsuya, not Tatsuya. He carried a cylindrical weapon turned over in his hand. It looked like a sword, which matched the weapon wounds of number 501's victims, according to the forensic investigations. This is the police! Throw down your weapon! My voice sounded hoarse as I yelled that, aiming at the shadow's head from the side. I could have used a hot green tea. Shiori Miyashiro, right? I have my gun aimed at your head. Throw down your weapon! The shadow barely moved, as if he were a statue, and I didn't know if he was prepared for this. He immediately released his lethal weapon. I kicked it away from where it fell on the floor, then I shouted at him again, with my gun still trained on him. You're under arrest for being in violation of the Swords and Firearms Control Law. Hands behind your head and drop to your knees. He placed his hands on the back of his head and obediently dropped to his knees. Didn't let my guard down, though. His victims weren't just cut down. There were some where it seemed like they were eaten alive. Who knew what kind of deadly weapon he had hidden on him? If he showed even the slightest sign of resisting, I intended to gun him down without hesitation. Japanese police officers don't do shooting practice beyond 36 bullets worth a year, so it's difficult for us to hit a moving target. Is that true? Damn! Not to mention, there was no way you could stop homicidal maniacs and junkies with a single .32 caliber bullet. Really? .32 caliber? Overseas, there's a controversy over whether even a 9mm caliber bullet would have been enough force. You know what? I'm just going to stop commenting on guns for the moment. Of course, there's probably a problem with using excessive force. What did I just say? The truth is, though, I wanted number 501 dead. He was clearly the culprit. Even if I secured him, he'd receive a non-indictment due to being of unsound mind, get institutionalized, and if I was unlucky, be back on the streets before a few months had passed. He'd leave, free as a bird, without anyone asking what his crime was. In this country, there's no judicial institution in place to handle mentally impaired people who've committed atrocious crimes. Involuntary institutionalization ultimately only targets the mental instability. They can't handle them as criminals. Consequently, once it's been judged that there's no fear of them harming themselves or others, they must be discharged immediately, even if the very doctor who examined them felt there was risk of recidivism. There have been several movements trying to introduce measures preserving law and order with stronger binding force. However, they've been stymied many times over because of strong protest from the opposing faction that touts protection of human rights. So then what about the human rights of the victims? The rights of the victims who one day had their uneventful but happy lives ripped from them all of a sudden, and of those left behind. The perpetrator wasn't in a normal state of mind. They're incapable of taking responsibility. Are you telling me to fucking accept that? My loved one's life and future were unreasonably stolen, and the man who's responsible gets protected in the name of human rights. This is the status quo for this country's administration of justice. Are you crying? It's natural for someone to tear up when they're tense. He could see the corners of my eyes in this dim light. Whatever. It wasn't his damn business. Also, that's a wooden sword. The shadow jutted his chin at the weapon on the floor. I glanced at it without turning my head and confirmed it was true. The hallway light streaming in from the door illuminated a wooden sword. I couldn't charge him with a violation of the Swords and Firearms Control Law. Can I get up now? No, you may still have committed unlawful assembly with deadly weapons. What's your name? Tatsuya Suou. Tatsuya Suou? I turned up the hall lights with the remote in my other hand, then looked at the shadow's face. While there was intensity in it, this was definitely a young man. Guess he was about 17, 18 years old. He looked like Sergeant Suou. Was he former Detective Suou's child? What was he doing here? Was he Joker? I was confused. You and me both, lady. Why do they have such similar names? Am I ever going to find out? Do you have any ID? I think there's a driver's license in my wallet. I ride a motorbike to school. I doubt it's unregistered. He talked about himself like he was someone else. What a weird kid. Where's your wallet? In my back pants pocket. Stand up slowly, place your hands on the wall, and spread your legs. Once he obeyed my directions, I completed a quick pat-down. He didn't possess any other weapons. Inside his wallet, there was a normal motorbike license, a so-called mid license. There's his picture and name. It was Tatsuya Suou, all right. Okay, turn this way. Keep your hands where I can see them. He obeyed me without question. At least his face and photo matched up at a glance. There was something different about the boy in the photo who gave a challenging smirk, like he'd fight anyone who looked at him funny. It was his eyes. What was with this kid's eyes? It was like they'd suck me in. What child looked like that? There was a detached quality to his gaze, like he'd resigned himself to or accepted something. How did you know my name? Were you the one who picked up on the other end of the line? Or did you hear it from your father? The address on his photo ID definitely matched what I had pinned down for the former Detective Suou. No doubt about it. This kid was his son and Sergeant Suou's little brother. My dad? No, I saw your business card downstairs. He was probably surprised that I knew his father, given his puzzled expression. I see. Did the people from the club ask you to chase me out, or did you come here to kill me? You wouldn't happen to be the Joker, would you? No, the club's got nothing to do with it. I came to warn you because Yoshizaka asked me to. If you stay here, Joker really will kill you. Do you mean the advance notice? If you know about that, then hurry up and go home. You don't understand at all. Your gun won't do a thing. What the fuck? The next moment, I found myself staring blankly at the center of his chest. It took me several seconds to comprehend that he had seized my handgun along with my right hand and pulled me in close. His movements were so hyper quick, my eyes played tricks on me, making it look like time skipped. He tightly gripped the small automatic handgun in his large, undecidedly unboyish left hand. The slide was retreating a bit, too. Now, even if I pulled the trigger reflexively, it wouldn't shoot. Where in the world did he learn this? I felt the forceful beat of his heart on my cheek through his bright red bike leathers. When I looked up, I saw the handle of a fruit knife or something similar thrust all the way to the hilt in the wall next to his face. It hadn't been there a second ago. If my face hadn't been buried in his chest just now, that thing might have struck dead on the back of my head. When he removed his right hand, which held my head, he pulled out the knife next to his head while glowering at a spot further inside the club. Blades almost about 10 centimeters long, but all of it had sunk into the wall. The physical strength of the person who threw it was impressive enough, but this kid who casually pulled it out was amazing too. How long have you been there? From the start, dumbass! At Tetsuya-kun's question, the voice of another man behind me responded. It sounded like he was a good distance away. It's been a long time since I had booze. Here I was just thinking over a drink of 5 about how to act that broad when you get right in the fucking way. Voice's owner? Number 501. It seemed that until this boy came, I'd been alone with him in the dark. When I arrived, I'd verified that there wasn't anyone in the dance hall. When did he get here? Chill ran up my spine. When I twisted my body around as if to shake off my fear, Tetsuya-kun removed the hand that had been restraining me. Without a moment's delay, I alternated my gun at both of him and the direction of the voice. Neither of you move. Throw down your weapons. Tetsuya-kun didn't so much as glance at me. I too kept my aim and my eyes fixed on the man farther in. 10 years had gone by, but he looked exactly the same. This was without a doubt the man. The boy who'd stood next to Takuya's cruelly mangled corpse. His unforgettable, crazed smile. I knew he was 501. Tatsuya Sudo. I finally found you. Holy shit, it is him. Best time no see, you fucking brat. The voice has told me all about you and the other side. Sudo was sprawled out on the sofa deeper inside the dance floor, legs shamelessly stretched across the cushions. He was gulping down an entire bottle of dried gin dangling from one hand. He probably pinched it from the bar counter next to him. He had a 5 o'clock shadow and unkempt hair grown out like a mane, and he was wearing nothing but a coat on his shoulders on top of a patient gown from some hospital somewhere. What a freakish outfit. He was carrying a cylindrical weapon in his left hand. It was unsheathed Japanese steel. I could arrest him for in flagrante delicto for this alone. Tatsuya-kun walked right up to that Sudo without a trace of fear. At some point, he'd picked up the wooden sword I knew I'd kicked away. He was next to me this whole time. How had he picked it up? Flustered, I hurried after him. So, you're Joker on this side. Tatsuya Sudo. Seems like something he'd do. These two clearly knew each other. The Sudo said that this was the first time. What did they mean by the other side? Who did they mean by he? Was it supposed to be Tetsuya Sudo? The subject of all those unsavory rumors? I'm a stand-in, you know. A stand-in. Just till the real one graces me with his awakening. The real Joker ain't me. You know that best of all, though, wouldn't ya? Yeah. June isn't a filthy murderer like you. You're Tatsuya Sudo. You can't just take Joker's place. Yeah, true. He ain't got an ugly mug like me. Thanks for the tip, you fucking brat. What I need is a mask. Joker's mask. Sudo uttered a vulgar snicker and gulped down the rest of the bottle. The booze that spilled out of his mouth tracked down his throat and drenched his blood-stained hospital gown. The one gracing him, Joker's stand-in. What in the world did they know that I didn't? Suruo, it's not too late. You can still start over. Don't listen to his voice any longer. Start over? I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but even 10 years ago, this piece of shit killed a whole lot of people. You can't bring the dead back to life. Detective shouldn't say anything like that, but right then all I could do was scream it out. It didn't matter if he did turn over a new leaf. It still wouldn't bring Tatsuya back. Tatsuya-kun glanced back at me with a slightly shocked expression. You know that thermodynamics first law thing? It's all heat and energy. There's only so much of it to go around, and you can't change what all you got. Get it? There's a fixed volume of energy in the universe. It's all just got different form. That's how it is. This fate shit's just the same. You got one guy who gets to be all happy, so another guy's gotta be unhappy to make up for it. Like the meals you eat, right? You throw away what you can't polish off, right? In return, some asshole starves to death somewhere else in the world. I get it now. The voices are amazing. Voices. That Broad's kid brother, he was your stand-in. My stand-in? That day you little shits changed to fate and ran off with your tails tucked, he got axed by me in your stead. You get it, right? Tatsuya-kun watched my face with widened eyes while listening to his story. Couldn't take my eyes off him either. Takuya was this boy's replacement? Incoming phone call. I got an order to kill my Amano. The moment Suruo said that, a shadow that looked like a crimson figure flared up from Tatsuya-kun's body and assaulted Suruo. A black figure seethed out from Suruo's body too. The two men all of a sudden were locked in mortal combat over Tatsuya-kun's and Suruo's heads. The shadows clashed in the same form. Scarlet and sable flames intertwined and whirled all through the dance floor like two snakes trying to swallow each other whole. Several bottles that had been left on the counter exploded, and alcohol-fumed flames ran over the countertop. This is Joker, the persona your sins sired. How do you like it? Looks just like you. Lay just one finger on my knee and I swear I'll hunt you down and kill you like the dog you are. Every time, in every world. And whose fault is it that bitch died, huh? Whose fault is it the other side got blown to hell? Shut up! You killed them all. I almost feel sorry for him. Take a good hard look at my persona's happy fucking face. Loser! Murderer! Pseudo! Oh yeah, get mad, get madder. Let the voices take you. Voices, brat, voices, voices. Here we go. Oh crap. This is really bad. I'm going to have to chewing soul almost immediately. All right. Agadine's not going to work. Oh, I'm not even completely healed up. Oh, great. He's got Nova Kaiser. Oh, I blocked it. Okay, good. Ow. Koi. Okay, crap. Let's start with a chewing soul. Oh, this is crap. Oh, good. This doesn't affect me. All right, actually, you know what? Let's do that again. Wait, no, that's not how it works. Okay, another chewing soul. Oh my god, I'm almost out of chewing souls. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, you know what? Yeah, may as well. As long as he's wasted his turns, I will use mine to do what I should have done outside of combat. Okay, ow. Well then. It's now time to use a bead. Wait. Oh, right, that's right. I found like a stash of like 10 of them. I think I picked one up off of a mob. Oh, great. Now I'm poisoned. Yeah, I have antidotes. Okay, Nova Kaiser, which will not work. Good. And now, go back to Gigantic Fist. Ooh, Megiddo. Okay, do the same thing again. Ouch. Crap. Okay, I think I'm going to have to, use another bead. Oh, there it is. Okay, I think after this one, I'm going to have to take a chewing soul. Oh, wait, am I out of chewing souls? Oh, I have one left. Okay, that's still not good. Okay, now I'm going to take a bead. Once again, I wonder if bosses have SP pools. Oh, he's low on health. Good. Might have enough SP left. Hey, I did! Sweet. And I leveled up, finally. And he escaped. The charred dance floor was choked with smoke. Tatsuya-kun stood in its center with slumped shoulders and let the water gushing from the sprinklers strike him. Sudo's sword, thrust into the floor in front of me, brought to mind a grave marker. In the rain, he was a solitary silhouette reminiscing on a lover long lost. A long time ago. Lone shadow. He struck a desolate figure, like something torn from a movie by that kind of title. Maybe the fury I'd caught a glimpse of a moment ago had been a dream. The flames had already been extinguished, but no fire alarm had gone off. Had one not been installed, or was it turned off? Either way, that was a violation of the Fire Services Act. Sudowu had escaped just before Tatsuya-kun's wooden sword could have split his face in two. He vanished, as if sucked into a round patch of darkness that had opened up in midair. For a long time after that, Tatsuya-kun stood stock still, just watched him. We were both soaked from head to toe. At last, it still bowed. He pulled out the sword Sudowu had left behind and murmured, subdued. What was your brother's name? Takuya. If he had lived, he would be about your age. Can I ask when he died? It was a sweltering summer night, 10 years ago. August the 20th. On the grounds of the Shrine in Rengadai. I found him. Sudowu had just thrown Takuya's head into the underbrush and was about to run away. That's the day. How could this be? Tatsuya-kun faced me with a look like he wished he could be anywhere but here. The golden retriever that Takuya and I kept when we were kids often had that look when our mom got mad at him. But this kid could never be someone's pet dog. He was more like a wounded lion who had removed himself from the pride. The only people who ever believed me when I said I saw Sudowu's face were your father and one other police officer. Your father promised me he'd arrest Sudowu. 3 days after that, Your father was discharged for accepting bribes. Reportedly, he'd accepted multiple bribes in compensation for disclosing investigation info to organized crime groups. It was complete bullshit. Your father had been set up by Sudo's father and another police officer. His partner betrayed him. Damn it. There was no stopping it now. This wasn't my story to share, but it wasn't fair to get him to tell me everything he knew if I didn't spill my guts too. Whatever burden this kid was carrying, I wanted to share it. I couldn't help but feel that if I didn't, he'd end up falling into a bottomless hell. I was sure he was just barely keeping his balance on a very thin edge, much like the blade he now had in hand. There was no way it was okay for a teenage boy to make a face like that. But you know, it was only just recently that I learned that myself. I always held a grudge against your dad. That's why I became a cop. I thought the police weren't trustworthy. I'm sorry. Your father was a fine police officer. He took responsibility for a crime he didn't commit to protect you, your brother, me, and his backstabbing friend from Sudo. It must have killed him inside. Oh. I might have just made things worse. I didn't have the silver key to open the door it shut tight. I wagered the only one who did was my Amano. But whether with a wire or whatever, I wanted to meddle anyway and pick that lock open. I'm so sorry. What Sudo said was true. It's my fault your little brother died. At that point, I still had no concept whatsoever of the conscious size or palpable weight of the sins he'd shouldered. To be continued. Holy what? The actual, oh my God. That was worth the price of admission. Welcome back. How was your trip? Perhaps you have come to understand Master Tatsuo's suffering a hair more. I will keep the memory shard in my care. So in the event you would like to review it, please let me know. I have so much to say. To the outro! Damn! That was heavy. Because of Philemon's tampering with the timeline, which, I should remind you, undead Nyarlathotep destroying the entire world, Tatsuya Sudo, the serial killer and arsonist formerly known as King Leo, did not attack and fail to kill the previous game's hero Tatsuya Suo and the current game's hero Maya Amano, but instead he attacked and successfully and brutally killed Officer Shiori Mayashiro's younger brother. Since the good Tatsuya's father was the only cop who believed her when she described her brother's killer, Tatsuzo Sudo, the killer's father, framed the elder Suo for corruption and had him removed from the police force. And that's how Mayashiro became a cop. Well then, how do you release this game without releasing its predecessor first? That's just cruel. Anywho, next time we will continue on with the main story, which means going to Aoba Park to meet an informant. In the meantime, up here is a playlist of my Phoenix Wright Justice for All playthrough, and down here is a video that YouTube recommends. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!